Hey everyone, Jim with Evolution Power Sports. Here today to talk about clutching, TAPP clutches specifically. So just to give a little background, the TAPP clutch came out about 3 years ago, and we immediately saw some of the advantages of this style clutch, which is kind of the opposite of a swing arm style clutch with the way that it functions. And at the time we were having issues in our drag race program, with a number of factors, but one of them was being able to, control the shift properly. The other was, we had a lot of problems with the clutch actually slipping on the crankshaft. And so when we went to the TAPP clutch, we immediately saw that there was, some advantages to the clutch above and beyond what else was out there. And one of the first things was the fact that we could get this clutch to stay on the crankshaft and not slip. And we've been very successful with it, both in drag racing. All of our drag race cars, currently and going back about 2 years, have TAPP clutches. We've set numerous world records in both the 43, 46, and 50 mil arenas and the outlaw class as well. I think Brandon tied for highest mile an hour. All of those vehicles had TAPP clutches. Okay, we also have racers that race TAPP in short course. We race our own Best in the Desert program, and we sponsor a lot of racers in the Best in the Desert that also run TAPP clutch with very, very good results. And so it's been a couple of the issues that it solves, I mentioned earlier, but also in terms of belt life, mile an hour, ease of adjustment. Those are what make the TAPP great. But since we're never content to rest, and neither is TAPP, there's a lot of great features on the new clutch that we're going to talk about now. Okay, starting with the upgrades that TAPP has done, one of the most significant ones is we've converted over to a roller spider. Okay, and the roller spider is significant in the way that the clutch operates, because you can see how nicely the sheaves now move, okay? And with a button setup, you have to maintain a tight clearance to keep the sheave faces parallel. But with a roller, you can keep that same tight clearance, but have a much smoother operating clutch. And so this is a game changer when it comes to both smoothness, belt life, belt heat, and a new level of performance in terms of how the clutch operates. The next thing we want to talk about is the center bearing. Okay, and you can see that the center bearing is now black, and they have been on any clutches shipped out probably within the last 30 days. But the center bearing, the black nitrating that's done on this prevents it from rusting. But the other thing is it adds a layer of hardness on top of it and makes it a little bit less friction as it's sliding, okay? Underneath this, because this is a bearing, the roller size has been increased from 2 millimeters to 3 millimeters, okay? And that will make a huge difference in the longevity of this bearing under harsh conditions. Okay, so that's a great new improvement that's been made. The post itself has some more material added in here and a different heat treating process that allows the clutch to now be over torqued without fear of it distorting. Okay, and on some drag race vehicles, we'll go well beyond the factory clutch torque spec, to prevent the clutch from slipping on the shaft. There's also been some changes made to the movable sheave in this area here that supports the rollers for additional strength. Okay, and now where these cars have gotten to, like especially our Pro R, which is around 750 horsepower, we've tested this roller style clutch and it's absolutely bulletproof. Okay, so these changes that have been made really affect the overall durability of the clutch for big power. A few other changes have been made to the overall design of the movable sheave. Material has been added and radiused in these critical spots here, and what that does, it gives the clutch towers additional load carrying capability for really big horsepower vehicles. And with the Pro R, at 750 or so horsepower and only going up from there, these changes were certainly needed and welcomed for big power guys. A few other things, and these aren't necessarily related to TAPP, but more calibration wise. We asked TAPP to enlarge the windows on the clutch cover. And the reason for that is when adding mass to the back side of the arms, if we're going to stack washers or put a tungsten on the back side, sometimes it would cause some interference here, and customers would have to window out these holes. Now it's all done prior to the clutch coming, and that way it gives a lot more flexibility in terms of how to place the masses on the arms. And with that, we've also, with the kind of power that we're making on these cars, we've kind of come to the end of the limit on, what can be achieved with some of the tuning components that TAPP has supplied us with. So we've done a few things. One is we've made stainless steel arms, and these are about 20 grams heavier than the stock aluminum arms. And what that does is, it gives additional strength down here, obviously where the pivot point is, but it also gives you a lot more mass far away from the pivot point, which is going to give you a lot more belt holding force. That coupled with the washers and nuts and bolts that we can put on here, gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of power. These would be for race only, okay? TAPP also created these masses, which are designed to fit on top of their existing arms, okay? They actually fit like this and give you a bit more flexibility for adding mass to the tips of the aluminum arms. These are kind of a stopgap. These will get you part of the way, but if you really need a lot of mass, this is the way to go. And then lastly, we had our own tungsten pieces made. All of the stock TAPP tuning components are stainless steel or steel. We had some tungsten masses made, which are about 7 grams heavier than the stainless. Again, for more tunability at really big power levels. So those are available on our website as well. So in addition to all the things that we talked about, the roller clutch does require a different calibration than the button clutch. There's so much less friction with the way the clutch operates that it takes a substantial difference in calibration. And so we've got just about all of the calibrations done for all of the Pro R turbo kits, all of our stage 1 through 5 Can-Am X3, DS355. So we're pretty well covered on virtually all of our off-the-shelf type turbo kits or tune packages. There'll be a few outliers for like some big horsepower stuff, but we can certainly help customers get their clutches dialed in. So this will be what we are going to recommend going forward. The last thing I want to talk about is that coming in about, maybe Q1 of 2024, we will offer a service so that customers can send their clutch in and have the Spider roller upgrade done. It is retro. You're able to retrofit the roller Spider into the older style clutch that had the buttons in it. So we'll have a service available to where a customer can send it in. We can, if the clutch is in great shape, we can just do the spider upgrade, or if it needs to be rebuilt, we can do the complete service at that time. So to summarize everything that we've discussed, TAPP is always pushing the envelope on to make the best product possible, which is our company philosophy. And the changes that we've requested and the changes that TAPP has made has really made for a great, the best clutch available anywhere. And our calibrations, when you buy a TAPP clutch from us, it is set up for your machine, okay? And we're very good at developing calibrations that are going to work right out of the box. So make sure that if you're looking to buy a TAPP clutch or have one upgraded, come to us. We will get you set up so you can get that power to the ground.